Hello guys, today we are going to continue with our PxShader series, and to do so we are going to dive into complex shapes. So far what we've done is we've learned about the grid system. We learned how to use it by drawing the rectangle, the circle, the text, the image, and the line objects. And these are considered as basic shapes. So the rectangle, the circle, the text, the image, and the line are basic shapes. So today we are going to dive into more complicated complex shapes, and the only complex shape we have in PxShader is the object array. And the object array is actually just an array of basic shapes. So an array of rectangle, or an array of a rectangle and a circle, an array of a text and a circle, and it's having different values. So let's dive into it and see what it's all about. So as you can see, we have an object shape. The general syntax is object array, and we have array. So what it's telling us is to create that we have an array, and the array will be an array of different objects. So you can see we have R1, which is a rectangle in the example. We have R2, which is still a rectangle. You have C1, which is a circle, and we have C2, which is also a circle, and we have a car. We have variable car, which is an object array of R1, R2, R3, R1, R2, and C1, C2, and you have car.draw. So let's copy this example and let's paste it here. We don't need the constant anymore. So oh no, let's just, okay, good. So doing that, we are getting nothing. So why are we not getting anything? Let's think about it. We have R1. I think maybe, let me just verify something. Okay. So the problem was that the width was too shallow. So I was originally drawing this shape with considering the default canvas width, which is 600 by 600. So the width would have been 600, but here we have a width of 500. So if we turn back to 600, we get a car. So how is it possible? So let's dig into it. So first we have a rectangle R1, and it's saying that it has an X coordinate 10, it has a Y coordinate 240, so 10 and 240. So if we put our grades, I'm not sure whether we can see that, but hopefully we can. Let's just put 20. Okay, so we have at some point we have a rectangle which has value 10. I think this is 10 because this one will be 20. You know, this one will be 20 because it's 1. If you can see, I don't know whether you can see it, but this one essentially will be 20, and here will be 20, and here will be half of 20, which will be 10. So our x value will be 10 here, and it has a y value of 540. So our y value will be 540, and it corresponds to 27 times 20. So 27 times 20 is 540. So actually our rectangle is right here. You see? So this is our rectangle, you know, here. And this is our first rectangle R1, this shape. And we have another rectangle R2. So our rectangle R2 is at x value 75. X value 75 should be a quarter of 100. 300 3 and 4 or 400. So at 4 we get 100, and you can see it's somewhere here. So it's not really in the middle, but it's in the quarter. So you see 100. So yeah, that's it. So it should be here, the quarter to 100. And we get another value, the width, which is 510, and the height, which is 510, and the height is somewhere at, let's see, it's at 25.5. So if you say 25.5 times 5, and it gives 510. So yeah, that's it. So that's how it's formed. And we have just the trig value of this, the width and the height in both of our rectangle. So it just differs. Now we have also circles. We have two circles with x and y value and r values. So their r values will be 15, meaning that their waves will be actually the same width. So that's what we get here. And if we dig into looking at the x and the y value, we will see that it corresponds. So this shape is created using different components or different basic shapes and drawing. So let's actually look at what the car object is made out of. So console.log in car. I want to see what it's made out of. Okay, so we get a type, which is object shape array, and we get what? We get an x value and we get a y value. So our x value is x equals to 10, x equals to 10 here, and y value is y equals to 540. So I think our x value just corresponds to this part of the rectangle of the shape. And we have like parts. We have the part, and if you look into the part, we can clearly see that each of these parts corresponds to the different object shapes. So part at the index 0 will correspond to the first rectangle we saw, part at the index 1 will correspond to the second, and the 3 and 2 indexes part will be our two circles. Good. So now that we've seen what an object shape is, let's create one. Let's create really one from scratch. Let's actually create one that we like. So for this one, I don't know what we're going to use. I don't want to use the grid because it's sometimes I don't like that. Yeah, it's, if you're not used to it, it's good, but if you already know, I think you can figure it out. So let's create like a stick man type of shape. Okay, so let's create first an arc, which will be our head. Okay, so we have head will be equals to arc, and in our arc we want to put it approximately here. So we have our values will be, let's say x will be 400, our y value, y will be yeah, our x will be 400, our y will be, let's say random value, let's say 500, and I want to put our r to be like a small shape, like, and if I just say head dot draw, let's see where it is placed on the canvas. Yeah, this is a little bit too big, I think so let's reduce it by quite, yeah, that fits. So the next steps is just creating, since we have a head, we can just create, we can just create a body, or body to be equals to an arc, and we have an x value. Our x value will be, let's say, I want it to take from where the our body will not be an arc. Our body will be a line because we are drawing a stickman, you know. And for a line we have a from value, and our from will be from where the x value of the y value of the circle stops. So it will be from 510 no 410 510. So it will be drawing, it will be, because we are at here we are at 500 here we are at 400 500 at the center here. So if we add like 10, which is the radius of this circle, we get somewhere here. Okay, so if we are at 500 400, so if we add 10 on the y value, we are at 510. And if we add y, I think we don't even need to add the value of x, so we can just leave it. It's just the y that has to change. So, and because and we also need to specify the to value, which is why we are having a error, because it says it cannot initialize the object without endpoint. So we have to add a to value, and the to value can just be some random stuff. Let's just say we want let's think about it. We want we still want the same x value, but we want the y value to be deeper, so we can say 560. Yeah. So see, if I say body dot draw, yeah, we see a line. So we can also test it like that. We can also head dot draw, and we see a head and a line. Good. So we are good to go. So now it's just remaining the limbs, which are the two legs and the arms. So to do that, we still are going to use line. So I can just copy it. So I can say leg 1, and I can see leg 2, and using that we can just say, okay, we have leg 1, leg 2, and we have this funny thing. Okay, so if I do that, it will not leg 1 and leg 2 are still on the same spot as the body. So we have to actually say, okay, we want the legs to go from the point where the body ends to somewhere here. Okay, so to do so, we are going to change the value of from, actually. So we are going to say, okay, the value of from for leg 1, the x value will not change, but the y value will change by quite a bit. So it will be 550, which will be where the point ends, like where the y value of the body ends. So it will be somewhere here. So the x value will be, you see, the x value will be the same as the x value where the body ends, and the y value will be the same where the y value of this line ends. So yeah, and we want to draw it, we want to tweak the x value by quite a little bit. Let's just say 10, so that it can go somewhere like that. And we have we want it to end to the ground, and the ground will be 600, because the width of the canvas will be, you see, the width the height of the canvas will be 600. So the grounds will be at the point 600. So that's one thing. Okay, so if you draw like 1, okay, you see we have that funny leg. I could just spread it a little bit, but yeah, I'll just leave it for now. And I want to do almost the same changes to leg 2. So I want it to go from 400, from where the body ends, this 10.400, 560, and we want to instead we want to go in the backward direction. We don't want to go this direction, we want it to go kind of this way, like that. So what we can do to go this way is just removing 10 from 400, and I want the y value to be to the ground, so I will just be putting 600. And if I say like draw, we get this funny little man with this like thing. Okay, good. So we are getting somewhere now. Just remaining with the arms are just the last things are just the arms actually. So I can say arm one arm one, just like armor or something like in the game. Okay, yeah, enough. So let's go to picking this value. Let's change this value. So we want to change these values in some way that the hands should be going like that, and we have like enough space. So we can say the original x value will be, because will be still the original x value of the line, because this we want it to be at the same spot where the body is. We could also do like some funny stuff where the hand is slightly like offset, but yeah, maybe for another video. But here we're just creating a basic stickman. Maybe we'll tweak it later, but now we just want it to be at the same x value as the body, and it should go towards like that. So what we want to do to achieve that, for arm one, we want to have the from the same x value, but the y value would not be the same. We want it to be kinda in the middle of the body, but not really in the middle. So we can just say, okay, $5. Let's try that, and we can just say arm1.draw to see what it gives. So we get yeah, we get that arm, but it's a little bit too long, so we have to cut it, and we have to put it such that we are getting some place, like some points in, like some point here. So we have to tweak the value, the true value of the arm. So the x value of the true value will be, let's say, no, I want it to be spread, to be wider, I mean. So I have that. I will just add 10 to the original y value, the original x value. So it will just be, the x value will be just like that, I think. And the y value, I want the y value to be, since I want the arm to be like that, I want it to not go too far to the bottom. So I want it to be at about 540. Good. I think it's a little bit short. Do you think so? Yeah, it's a little bit short. So let's add it a bit. 550. No. Good. Yeah. I think also that where the arm starts is a little bit too far from the body. The neck is too long, so I can just add it a little bit. No, I have to reduce instead. No, definitely not. Good. I think that's the right spot I wanted. So I had to add to reduce a bit, to go up in the y coordinate, so that it can be, yeah, it can have a middle size like type of neck. So I'll just copy this code for the arm 2, and for the arm 2, the y value will still be the same things, and the front value where it starts will be the same thing, like this point. It has still to be the same point as this one, and what I'll actually just change is where it goes. So in the previous one, I made it such that it went in the it went towards like the left. It went plus 10 towards the left. I want it to go minus 10 towards the right, so I want it to go to 400, I think. And if I say, okay, let me draw my arm. So no, it doesn't work. Oh yeah, 400 is just the middle, that's why. So let's go 400 minus 10. Oh, minus 20. Good. So we are getting our stick man. Okay, so what since we have this shape in this order, what we can do is we can just create an object shape or a complex shape. So we can say, okay, var stick man equals to object array, and I want to create an object. I want to pass parameter an array of all the objects I've created. So I can say head, body, even though I'm not sure that. Okay, let's put in the right order. Leg, arm 1, arm 2, and then we have like the body. Even though I don't really know in which order we are supposed. Is the head, is the arms coming before the body, or the body coming before the hands? I don't know. And okay, I'm sorry, I had like to a phone call. Okay, what I can do is I can try. I have the body and I have my leg 1, then I have my leg 2, and instead of drawing head 1, head 2, head 3, head 1, body, leg 1, like I can just say, okay, like I have my stickman which contains like all this shape. I can just say, okay, stickman dot draw, and we can see it gives the same results as if we drew all the shape individually. So that's a good thing to know. Okay, so hopefully by the end of this video you know how to, I hope that I've not confused you more about the shapes, the different shapes, and that you can actually use the object shape array to draw complex shapes. Like, I don't know, for exercise you can just try to create a lollipop, maybe. Yeah, so hopefully by the end of this video you know how to draw an object shape and draw a complex shape using the PxShader library. Thank you, and yeah, see you next time.